Market Moves coming at you with a new pot stock video. We're going to be comparing the growing capacities of all the pot stocks out there, letting you know which one is producing the most at this moment and which one can produce the most in the next couple of years. Stay tuned. So we're going to head to my handy dandy Excel sheet that has all the pot stocks with all the most important metrics on here. If you haven't seen this, this is in my last video that I go over the pot stocks, and I basically use this sheet to compare which one is the most expensive, which one's the least expensive. And you can see the most expensive is CRON right now with 271 on my value score. And then the least expensive is CanTrust Holdings, my favorite pot stock. This has a value score of only 12. So this is kind of how I base my decisions on the industry and how I look at which stocks are overvalued at the moment. And it basically helps me make better decisions when I'm trading and investing for stocks in the long term or short term. So I just want to remind you, I have a pot stock playlist. It's 55 videos and it's going to educate you on all these stocks in depth. I highly suggest you check it out. It's in the top right hand corner and it'll help you understand the industry very quickly. Also, please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. That's going to help you get updated on my latest videos because I put stuff out every day for you, and I try to be the best educator I can on YouTube when it comes to investing and trading. So this sheet I've been updating slowly because I've been getting a lot of comments on, hey, this number is actually a little bit higher or this number is a little bit lower. So this sheet's going to be updated almost every week or every month, especially with the new earnings coming out soon. These value metrics with expensive and cheapness, these are going to change very quickly with the new earnings. They could go up very quickly or down very quickly. So each earnings cycle, I'm going to be doing videos updating you on what's happening with this sheet. But today, we're going to be looking at growing capacity. So someone brought up a great point on Twitter. They said, hey, are you looking at current growing capacity or the future growing capacity? And that's very important because that's going to affect kind of how the stock is priced and what you should expect with the stock's numbers in the future. So what I did is I've split those up for you right here. What I'm going to do now is hide the other columns so we can just focus on what's important: the value score, the current and future growing capacity, and also have the ratio of what they have now to what they could possibly have in the future. So it's kind of like percent of the full capacity of production. So these numbers change very quickly, and I just want to go over them right now. So TGOD, if we check out their current capacity, it's about 59% of what it could be in the future. So that's very interesting when it comes to the revenue numbers coming out, because if they can double their growing capacity, they can double the revenue numbers. So I look at the lower number of percentages on the current. The percentage numbers first and foremost. Those are the most important in my mind because if they can double, triple, quadruple the growing capacity in the future, those revenue numbers are going to double, triple, quadruple. So I look at the lower number of percent as more bullish on the stock. And if it is at 100%, that means this is the full capacity. They're not building anymore. I look at that as very, very bearish. And I actually price that into the value score. So if their percentage is 100%, that's not going to be priced in as much as a 20% possible growing capacity right there. So I just really want to harp on this point of the percent of growing capacity that they have now to what they could have in the future. We're going to sort that by highest to lowest and just go over those companies. So Hexo, CWeb, and Afria are all at 100%. They're not building anything yet, and they're not trying to expand their growing capacity. Afria, very, very interesting. It's got the largest growing capacity currently at 255,000 kilograms a year, and no other company is close to that, not even by half. I mean, CWeb is the closest, but Afria is the largest growing capacity currently fully funded, and that's very interesting to me because their numbers are not coming in as high as some of the other big companies out there that do have half the capacity. So like CGC and ACB are putting out higher revenue numbers, and we can go back to that later in the columns when I unhide them, but basically these top stocks, this is a metric that is kind of bearish for the stock. And if we go to the bottom, these metrics are very, I can't say this enough, very bullish. We're going to go to the most bullish stocks on here is CanTrust Holdings. It's hoping to get 100K of kilograms a year, and it's only making 15K kilograms a year. So that has a 10x possibility. It's only 15% of what it could be in growing capacity. And then we got ACB and CGC, the leaders in the industry. These have a 5x potential for growing capacity. CGC only putting out 100K, ACB only putting out 100K, with the possibility of 500K for both of those. And I did put some notes here on mid 2019 for the middle of this year. We're expecting ACB to be around 150, and then 2020 we're expected for 500. So 2020 we're going to be fully capacitated, and then that's going to be all that we can grow, and that's 500K. If they build more facilities, they could be growing 1 million kilograms a year. That would be super impressive. And these are just the updates I have on the side. So these are the expectations and what we can see to slowly ramp up to their fully future growing numbers. And in the middle here, I'm not bearish or bullish on these stocks. It's just good to know what the capacity is and what the potential is. So 30% for most of them. We got 59 and 60% for TGOD and Fire. So now that we know the percentage of the current to the possible future total, we're going to go to the value score again and compare the value score within the other stocks in the industry. I'm going to show you the formula right here. This is my secret sauce formula, how I use this to compare other companies with the ones that are being traded within the industry. Is that we have the most important thing is revenue and growing capacity. Revenue can change very quickly, so that metric is not as important as growing capacity. So right here, all I do is I add the current capacity, and then I add 2 times the future minus the current capacity. So the difference of the current and the future, I multiply by 2. And all that means is that I'm putting more value on the future production of the company, and I think that's priced into the stock. So the value of the possible future increases are very important, and I'm going to add a 2x multiple to that. It's worth more than having growing capacity now, because what you could have in the future could boost your numbers a dramatic amount. So I think it's very important to put some weight on that, which I did in the formula. And again, we're going to sort it, and that still puts CRON in the lead with 317. We have Hexo, Fire, Tilray, C-Web, all in that orange level, so that kind of overvalued level. And then we get to the bottom here, we see the leaders, the green stocks that are good to invest in, have a fair value, and are relatively cheap compared to the other stocks in the industry. CanTrust Holdings is coming in at 13, so the lowest out of all the stocks in there. You know I like it, you know it's my favorite, and it just shows it right here in the formula if you take into account the possible 10x of growing capacity and what they're doing with this small amount that they're making now. So Afria and ACB. So Aurora Cannabis, another one of my favorites. I do have that in my top 3 list, along with new age beverages. So this doesn't grow anything, but I do want to put it on the sheet because a lot of my followers do find value in new age beverages and they are excited to know about it. So I just want to have it on here and keep updating people on what's happening with it. So this sheet is free for everyone. If you want this sheet, just hit the link in the bio. You can use this sheet as you want, edit it almost any time the earnings pop out or production capacity changes, and the sheet will update automatically. The formulas are in there. It's yours to use, free. Hit the link in the bio. I would love for you to take advantage of this. And also, please share this video. I want to let other people know kind of what the most expensive and cheapest pot stocks are out there. And now that I've compared the current and future growing capacity, I do think this makes a difference. So yet again, please hit that subscribe button. This is Market Moves signing off. Peace. For more information on the Market Mover Indicator, free consultation talks, and courses, head to the website marketmovesmatt.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out the latest and popular videos I have uploaded.